Anything today?
I worked hard all
Why don't
day.
you put her down?
All right. That is always the right.
She told you what you wanted.
That's right. That's right.
The truth.
You know, you can get a clipboard the next time.
Okay, we gotta jump those things, trash and
Yeah.
Not that.
Not
and the budget.
yeah.
Did I understand it right? Just a quick question. Peggy is the elder statesman here. She's been on
That's
the,
one way of putting it.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it.
and I've been married a long time. I know how to
I've
talk.
been here a
When you're
long time.
I can
Ladies.
answer for sure.
For sure.
Yep.
You don't stay married a long time unless you know what your position is. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Right here, little seat.
My wife uses the ace. You can say all the things you want to, but you want to eat tonight.
Yeah.
Well, we've had 2 pretty days in a row.
Why?
And it's supposed to have been raining.
Supposed to rain, I think, both days. Or
Today when I came in, it said 70 degrees.
I think that's.
Oh, it's got to be warmer than that.
Yeah, it feels warmer. Maybe that was the temperature, not the heat index.
I don't know, it feels pretty warm out.
We got a dramatic increase in our.
Yeah, it should just,
I still like this humidity better than that dry heat that everybody brags about. Not when it's 115.
When it's at 115, that's awesome.
I'll take this humidity.
Oh, that's just a
My opinion.
I got a minute, don't I?
You got a minute, yes.
I can do it in 1 minute.
And then go back and make sure.
And my relative said, oh, after your first year there and you do that humidity, you'll be ready to come back. Well, it's been 2 years and I call him and I say, I ain't coming back.
We haven't had to use a lot of that so far. We're
Right.
able to handle it, so. Oh, yeah.
If we get over it, we're
I guess I'll make it.
Yeah. Sure they improve it.
gonna.
Sure.
I'm just spread out there.
I think. Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Call to order and roll call. Here. Here. Everybody's here except for Keith and Larry. They couldn't make it tonight. Larry's, I guess Larry's went to the emergency room, so we don't know exactly what's wrong, but anyway,
Really?
yeah.
Today?
His his secretary called and said that that's the information she gave us this afternoon, so. But anyway. Motion to amend the agenda, please.
I make a motion to amend the agenda.
Billy made a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Noel second, all in favor with aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Okay, the chamber was gonna address the board, but they decided to wait until next week when we'd have, we was thinking a full board, but anyway, they'll be with us next week, or not next week, next meeting.
Next meeting.
And has everybody had a chance to go over the last meeting we had?
Yes, sir.
Is everything okay? The minutes will stand as presented. Okay, we got the budget report. Peggy?
Okay, well, we have two different things. We have, for your normal monthly financial report, we closed May doing well because I think a lot of stuff has been held off till June. So we ended at $3,930,444, which is excellent. But being June, we have huge bills going out. We have the MIRMA bill. We're finishing up our AMI project and trying to get that all paid out this month. And so we will definitely see it get hit
Yeah,
pretty hard.
there's probably been close to 300,000 plus go across my
Right.
list in the last week, so.
Yeah, so we're gonna,
With
we're gonna.
Myrna, Encode,
Yes, which is huge.
Uh,
The meters for the
yeah, the
AMI
meters for
projects
the
is
AMI
another like
project, there was-
60-some thousand. So, you know, it's just that very last month and everybody trying to get everything in, so. So we'll see it get hit very good, but I think, but at least it's at a level to where, even if it gets hit hard, we'll still be doing much better than what we would normally be doing, so I'm still optimistic. Okay. And then, do you want to talk about the budget, or do you want to deal with that down on the next item? We can do kind of both.
actually, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We had our budget hearing yesterday, which is a meeting that we have here at the office. We open it up and then we just stay here, and if the public comes in and has questions or wants to review the budget or anything, we're here to answer questions. So we did that yesterday. We had no comments or anything on it, so then we have that resolution then for it to be approved if you are in favor of it. The budget for this next year, the total budgeted expenditures is $12,043,416. That's probably one of the highest budgets we had, but we've got a lot of anticipated grants coming in. So this, it just depends on whether we get those grants or not, whether or not we do all of that.
Okay, help me on this, on the grants. We still got the airport pending. We've got,
Yeah, we've got an airport runway light grant for $364,889 total project. We've got a fire department grant the airport grant has been approved.
yes,
Okay, so that's the only one.
that's gonna happen.
That one has. The other two are they've been submitted, but we don't know for sure. There's been a fire department equipment grant applied for that was $63,125, and then a street paving grant for $705,000. Now, that's the total grant. Our contributions vary. On the fire department, our contribution was going to be $15,781, and then on the street paving, we projected $200,000 on that. So that's just depends.
33,000.
Yes,
something like that on the.
Total of actually $36,489 on the airport grant.
That's a total.
For our city match.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Any other questions on the budget? None?
Okay.
Okay, Suzanne?
First resolution is resolution number 2021-0607, a resolution of the City of Ava, Missouri concerning acceptance and compliance with various requirements to obtain financial assistance from the United States of America, acting through the United States Department of Agriculture and Rural Development.
Okay. This is on that fire department. It doesn't mean, it's just another step. It doesn't mean that we've secured the grant or anything, but it's another step closer to and hopefully getting it so. But anyway, a motion to accept the resolution 2021-0607.
Motion to accept resolution 2021-0607.
I'll second that.
Okay, Noel made the motion, Stan second. All in favor with an aye?
Aye.
And then resolution number 2021-0608 is a resolution adopting an annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, and appropriating funds thereto.
Okay, there wasn't any questions on that a while ago, so a motion to accept resolution 2021-0608.
I make a motion to accept resolution 2021-0608.
Okay, Billy made a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Stan second, all in favor with aye.
Aye.
Any comments from Alderman or? Okay, you got a chart there for, it's ordinance 1034 on our trash. y'all know, was it the last meeting that we signed the agreement, contract agreement with Lycos landfill? But anyway, our rates, we had to take a look at our rates, and we're trying to keep our rates in the black, and they have went down a little bit in the past year, but and I was talking to Peggy, and I was talking to Carl today, and did he say this was the first time in how many years that we took an increase? And, but it was, I jotted it down somewhere, but I can't remember. Okay, it was the first time in 15 years that we've had an increase.
Yeah, it was back, and it's been back several
And
years ago.
I think he was referring to residential
Right.
increase. But anyway, we visited with that this afternoon, Peggy and I and Carl, and what we recommended, and we hope that we don't have to address this for a couple of years, but fuel rates, dumping fees, maintenance, and just we feel like, I'll go through this if you've got your chart there on your residential. Right now, we're $15. And we pretty much are going to recommend to the board a $2 increase on that, which compared to our other trash services is considerably less than they are. So some of the prices we got from other trash services were $22 and $24. But anyway, we're staying at $17. And hopefully we can stay that for 2 years, and we don't. But I mean, I hate to increase anything, but sometimes we have to just to stay even, and that's what we're looking for, is just to stay even. We're not. But anyway, it'd be an increase from $15 a month to $17 is what I'm recommending. And then if you'll drop down to the commercial bag, that's $26.25. So I'm recommending $2 on that, $28.25 for the commercial bag. And then on our dumpsters, we're recommending, there's like on the 2 yard, 4 yard, 6 yard, and 8 yard, there's a monthly fee for having them set, as you'll see there on the left-hand column. And 10, 15, 20, and 25, but $2 on each of those, and that's the monthly fee for having that dumpster. And then if you'll go over here to, like, take the 2 yard dumpster, for instance, it's 40, if they dump it once a week, one dump, that's $45. So we're recommending to increase that to 45. And, but anyway, our ordinances just double that each time. I mean, if they ask for 2 dumps, it'll be, instead of 90, it'll be $94.
So basically do a $2 on the monthly base, and then
Put it to
just each
47?
additional dump, just dump.
47.
Yes,
45.
yes, on the, if you want to write that on there, just, it'd be
I think you see
47, and then
what I'm
on
saying
your
on that?
4 yard dumpster, it'll jump up to 87.
Yeah.
But it'd be $2, and then
Yeah.
right across the board there,
It would
just $2.
Right, it would just $2.
Yeah.
And then, and the same on the rental, is that what you're also looking at too? Yeah. Yeah.
Correct me, I think Peggy's told me that our dumping fees had increased $12,000.
Oh, yeah, usually I would send them like 7,000 a month. We pay ahead,
Yeah.
so that there's no conflict at the landfill. And so that's what, in some of the negotiating
Yeah,
we did,
yeah.
helped keep that rate kind of down, because we do pay ahead. And, for the last several years, I've paid 7,000 a month to just keep us a little bit ahead of the game, and I've had to increase that to 8. So, you're looking at a $12,000 increase over a year right there. And then we've, of course, are looking at additional fuel. The fuel fees they're going up constantly. And then we've done no capital improvements in that department for several years now. And, and that's just inevitable. Your sanitation either the chassis or something's gonna go out,
Yeah,
and
we
you're
talked
gonna
to-
have to have some major repairs,
We
so.
put them dumpsters, I mean, them trucks through it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
they're out
they-
there
We were,
rolling.
we were guesstimating today, Carl and Peggy and I were, just a chassis alone, we're guesstimating $130,000, and that's just for a chassis.
And then you put
And if
the-
we have to buy the whole unit, we're talking about 200,000 plus.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Well, they make
we
it-
took, for the last year, we took it out on the chin. That's the reason our cash flow, or cash on hand has went down the past year, because we just absorbed it.
And repair and replacement fees on those dumpsters has increased immensely as well. We spend a lot of money on dumpsters.
Yes, we have.
So it's just, we talked about, you know, we've been kind of, for a while, as we've started kind of doing this, we're starting to come down to where we're not maintaining, barely taking in enough revenue to just cover basic expenses, anything major. Now, we have managed to put a little bit back in reserve,
Yeah.
but there's not enough leeway there with your actual operating to not, you know, $1, $1.50 is just gonna kind of do this. $2 will bring it on up to where, at least for a couple of years, we could, you know.
But we're thinking that this $2 increase on each one of these will, yeah, we'll probably make a little bit, you know, climb a little bit, but we're anticipating some, you know, some pretty good fuel prices in the next year, and it's looking like it. And I would like to, but personally like to address it now and not have to do it again next year. We're done with it, hopefully, and, but that's the reason we sat down and I know none of us here want to increase rates, but we have to maintain the service. And like I say, we're considerably cheaper than everybody else, and I'd like to, you know, keep it that way. But we've managed to stay less than everybody else, and even with this increase, it's we're still going to
Well,
manage
in
to
the
do that.
meantime, you're keeping your trash service local. You
Yes.
know, we're providing jobs to people here locally and keeping it to where we have some say over how it's handled. That's the big thing.
But everybody understand what the $2 increase on each one of them, the set fee, and then the dumping fees, and the commercial rate, bag commercial rate, and residential rate. If council is good with that, I would recommend a motion to accept these increases for the,
And we'll probably have to come back at the next meeting with, because it'll
a
get changed.
resolution.
Yeah, or an ordinance.
An
ordinance, yes, an ordinance,
Change it,
yeah.
So-
Yeah.
I got one.
Are we doing anything with construction dumpsters? Are we leaving them alone?
We'll leave them.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a,
Not a big,
yeah, actually, the fee on dumping now is considerably higher than
Yeah.
this right here. And, but anyway, I think we'll be good on that.
Okay.
And that's a good question. But I think we'll be all right on the construction.
And when we do the ordinance, we'll go in and update that chart to where it'll have the
Yeah,
actual
right.
numbers on
Yeah.
there.
So we need a motion to, I don't have a resolution, so.
Do we want to wait and just do it on the ordinance when it comes?
We can, and actually I'll give you a little more time to think about that if you want to, but I wanted to present that to you, and because I think we're gonna at least have to do that to stay in the black.
Well-
We're gonna go the wrong direction.
I don't think we're gonna have a big uproar on that because it's really cheap. We've talked about that. When you look at everything there and you get to that, that's pretty darn cheap.
Well, and the city, I think, is very gracious in doing, you know, a couple of cleanups.
Oh,
a
yeah,
year where
2
we're-
cleanups
where
a
we're
year.
giving people an opportunity to get rid of a lot of bulk stuff
Yeah.
that saves them money in addition to all of this.
Yeah.
That's where an outside service would not give you that.
No, they don't give you that at all.
It's gone.
Yeah.
You know, if you let an outside service have it, and I like the idea like Peggy mentioned a while ago. We've got 3 full-time employees that work for the city to maintain and I think they do an excellent service. You can almost set your watch by them coming by.
5-minute gap there.
They-
My house, they'll ever Thursday morning.
I just hope the UPS, not UPS, Postal Service don't try to get them. So anyway, that'll give you a couple of weeks and Keith will be back and not sure whether we'll have a full council or not, but anyway, Keith will be back and we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Roundabout, myself, Billy, Senator Esslinger, Representative Travis Smith, we all met with MoDOT a week and a half ago, something, and discussed the roundabout, which is an issue, seems like, and we can't get anything really, or haven't been able to get anything nailed down, but I think we're closer now, and I think Billy would agree with that. We got our representatives involved in it, and I think we can maybe pin down MoDOT a little bit more as far as staying on the ball. And I think one of the biggest problems we have since headquarters moved out of Willow Springs all the way over to Sykeston.
Right.
We're in the very western edge of the district, and I think we're out of sight, out of mind. But I think they found out the other day that we do exist with Senator Esslinger and Travis. And anyway, we're looking at 2023, and this is off the top of my head, I can't remember just exactly everything, but 2023, winter of 2023, they're
Yes.
saying that they should have it engineered
Yes.
and up for bids, and the project start in the spring or summer of 2023 and completed before winter. And that's, they like to have their bid lettings in the wintertime, and that way they can get started, you know, in the spring, summer. And a small project like this, they don't have to get in the middle of it and then shut it down for the whole winter and have it all torn up. But the roundabout right now is 70 feet. And they're guesstimating to expand that double, a little over double, 150 feet. And they
already own it though.
They already own
That's a big thing.
most of that, so that'll help. But it's going to a little more than double in size, which will have I think they said a 3-inch curb on the inside of the roundabout.
Yes.
And anyway, and oh yeah, we talked about what can we do to let people know from, like the Foxtrotters coming in here, and they have what they call it's a reflector, and there's some that's white and some that are yellow, but they're gonna, as soon as they get these reflectors, they're gonna put some of them up just to help identify this yellow dot that we've got in the road,
Yes.
that nobody knows what it is, and they're cutting right straight through it.
And those are orders. She couldn't tell us when they'd be in, but
Right.
she said as soon as they came in, they would get some put up for us.
But anyway, I think it was a good meeting that we had, just to let them know that we think this is urgent over here and we need something done about it and as soon as possible. But anyway, I'm hopeful. So that, we'll see.
Yeah.
And I thank Billy for being a part of that. Okay, I don't, some of you have noticed that the city maintenance department is putting up a pavilion. I and the other people that noticed that we have 2 pavilions at the park, and boy, they're getting used. There's not hardly a weekend that there's not somebody in that. So we've seen a need for another pavilion, and we've got I call it the old Spurlock property, the property, the house that we tore down and cleaned up. We are in the process, and I said we, that is the maintenance guys, and they're doing a wonderful job putting up a 24 by 45 pavilion. And they'll probably, if it don't rain, they'll probably have the roof on it tomorrow and dry it in. And then we'll put a concrete floor in it, and we'll get with the school. We may move some tables from our pavilions that we've got and to where we can utilize 3 of them. But anyway, I have contacted the school and they're gonna help us with some table in the future when they,
Yes,
yeah.
Oh, good deal.
That'll be a school project, and I have contacted them, and they'll help us with that. And but anyway, if you see the maintenance guys, you might tell them that they've done a really good job, and this is kind of a lull this week is because of they can't mow the cemetery, but anyway, that next week it's got to be done this week because next week they're going to be covered up with mowing and getting the cemetery back in shape. So, but they are doing an excellent job, but anyway, I think most of you have already noticed that it looks nice. Ava Housing Authority, we have okay, we got Jim Thurman and Dale Duckworth that we need to reappoint for, let's see, are the 4-year terms, and both of them are 4-year terms. So it would be Dale Duckworth and Jim Thurman for the Ava Housing Authority.
in spite of knowing them guys, I'll go ahead and.
Okay, Stan made a motion to reappoint Jim Thurman and Dale Duckworth for the Ava Housing Authority.
I'll second.
Noel second, his authority.
Yep.
All in favor with aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, you might have heard that we had a 8-inch main. It started out, we thought it was a 12-inch main breaking behind Walmart. But it ended up, which is just about as bad as far as I'm concerned, 8-inch main. But it was situated in a matter where it could be shut off and none of our utilities were lost. I mean, like the water service to Walmart and all that was, but anyway, it was just, I think the valving was good enough. We lost maybe a hydrant. But anyway, they had to order a new 8-inch elbow. And anyway, as soon as it comes in, we'll fix that. But as bad as it could have been, it's not going to be that big a deal. As soon as that 8-inch L comes in, we'll replace it. And I think what happened, it appears that we've had so much rain that the ground softened up and it actually pushed it off with the pressure. So we may have to put it back in place and possibly put some concrete behind it to support it. The square, the concrete, I think, the square project, I think, as right now is done. I guess we'll wait till one big rain to see, but I think we're in pretty good shape. It appears to have enough slope on that southeast corner now to accommodate a big rain. So I feel pretty optimistic that that project's done. And we are working on the gazebo. We, as in the city employees, we're going to put new railing up. We're going to put rock on our post. I've mentioned that in the past, but we are still working on that. Rainy days, that's what some of the guys are doing, and keeping them busy that way. June 15th, is that Tuesday of next week? I think it's Tuesday of next week. June the 15th, we have an RFQ, which is a request for qualifications for engineers. Will accept, the way I understand it, you score the engineers and we'll score them and we'll pick out an engineer for this, the next project that we're applying for the CDBG grant, the $500,000 or $700,000 CDBG grant that Peggy was talking about. But that will be Tuesday next week.
What time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yeah. But Trent Courtney from Skokog will be here, and they're scored off of a point system. I don't have anything else for open session. If council doesn't have anything else for open, I'll, a motion to go into closed.
So moved.
Noel made a motion to go into closed.
Second.
Billy second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming.
We'll see you.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night, Mike.
You, Mike.
Take care. Okay, take care, everybody.